Hello there, once more, welcome to my platform. In today's episode, we are looking at what is happening in Cameroon at the moment, and we want to address a few issues. So, today, Cameroon is in a moment where silence feels dangerous, but speaking feels even more dangerous. Yeah. So, the elections may be over officially, but emotionally, socially, politically, the country is still in campaign mood. People are still debating legitimacy, still questioning institutions, still negotiating hope and fear. Yeah, so today we are breaking down three major conversations shaping Cameroon right now. And these conversations are first, we are looking at Tchiroma's appointment of Barrister Nkom and the nationwide debate around her age. Yep. Secondly, we're going to look at this new call for a 3-day nationwide ghost town. We always ask, will Cameroonians participate? Will it even matter? Yeah. And number three, we'll look at the threats that are being sent to civilians simply because they support Tchiroma. These three issues are connected. They tell a story about where Cameroon is and maybe where Cameroon may be heading. So let's talk honestly, let's talk respectfully, and somehow courageously, because as we all know, in every Cameroonian there is an aspect of fear. But let's have this conversation, okay? So firstly, let's look at Barrister Nkom's appointment. Issa Tchiroma appointed Barrister Nkom as his official spokesperson. And immediately, social media lit up, right? Not with questions about her experience or her competence or her communication skills, but with jokes, criticisms, and debates about one thing: her age. People asked, right, why another elderly person? How can we complain about Biya's age and then support this, right? Where are the young political voices? These are the questions that people are asking in multiple platforms. But yeah, let's listen to this. These questions come from real frustration. That is a fact, right? For decades, Cameroonians have associated age with political recycling, stagnation, and resistance to innovation. That is what age is to most Cameroonians. So, yes, the people are tired. People want generational change. But here, the nuance is Paul Biya's age is not criticized because he is old. It is criticized because he has ruled for over 40 years with little accountability or evolution. That is why his age is criticized. Barrister Nkom is not becoming president. She is not controlling national policy. She is not taking office for 7 years. She is communicating, representing, and legally defending a movement. And in that role, age can actually be an asset. We are talking about experience, memory, context, patience, political wisdom. But yeah, however, I must bring this in. Let's acknowledge the frustration. Okay, we must acknowledge it because it is real. Cameroonians want visible youth inclusion, not just as supporters, not as choir members, but as leaders. And that frustration is very much valid, I must emphasize, right? The appointment isn't the problem. The system that really elevates youth voices, young voices, is the problem. So maybe the conversation shouldn't be, why is she old? Maybe it should rather be, how do we build a political future where age, gender, and region do not limit leadership opportunity? Because Cameroon doesn't lack talent, it lacks access. Yeah. So that's it for Barrister Nkom. Let's look into the 3-day ghost town that is upcoming. All right. Now we'll talk about this latest call for a 3-day nationwide ghost town from Sunday, this coming Sunday, all the way through Tuesday. So we all know for almost a decade, people in the English speaking regions of Cameroon have respected Monday ghost towns. And sometimes this is done willingly, other times reluctantly, and sometimes out of fear. Out of fear, we know that fear is one of the most powerful powers in Cameroon today. So, ghost towns have served as a silent but powerful protest tool. They communicate economic pressure, political resistance, civilian unity, and moral refusal. Those are the things that are communicated through ghost towns. But now, Tchiroma is making the entire nation to join these ghost towns. And that raises very big questions, which some of which include, will the rest of Cameroon participate in these ghost towns? Will the French-speaking Cameroonians feel the same urgency? And do people actually believe that this strategy will work, right? And also, can the population afford these ghost towns? That's a very valid question because ghost towns are very powerful, but they are also very, very painful. Small businesses suffer. Daily wage earners struggle. Students lose time. Families feel the impact immediately. So the real question is not, will people obey these ghost towns? I think that the real question is, do Cameroonians believe that unified silence can lead to national change? Is this something that you think Cameroonians believe in? Because ghost towns don't succeed because the streets are empty. That's not why ghost towns succeed. Ghost towns succeed when the nation speaks the same language, when everyone is involved. If the French and the English-speaking Cameroonians finally protest together, that alone shifts the political landscape. It signals unity, it signals awareness, it signals awakening. But for ghost towns to stay effective, they must be a part of a larger strategy. Political education as part of it, community mobilization, youth involvement, institutional pressure, international advocacy, all of these things must work together with ghost town. But now, because ghost towns alone cannot bring change, but they can prepare a nation for change. They can remind leaders that the country belongs to the people, not the other way around. All right. So let's see how this pans out in the days ahead. Number 3, I want us to let's now address I think something that is deeply concerning. And so across Cameroon, regular civilians, as we've seen on social media, not activists, not politicians, are receiving threats, right? This is what we see in different social media platforms, simply because they publicly endorse Tchiroma. They report that they are receiving threats like, hey, you be careful. We know where you live. Stay quiet if you want peace. You will regret supporting him. These are all threats. And yeah, right, let's stop right there with these threats. If citizens are scared to express political choice, do we really have a democracy? Voting shouldn't require bravery. Supporting a candidate shouldn't require hiding. Political opinion shouldn't require self-defense. Threats do more than silence people. There is a lot more damage that is being caused by threats, and by so doing, they damage the nation. They discourage political participation. They normalize fear. They teach young people that citizenship is dangerous. And worst of all, they push Cameroonians, our brightest minds, to flee the country. People leave not because they hate their country. That is not the reason most people leave Cameroon. They leave because their country punishes them for thinking. Let's do our regular imagine scenario, okay? So imagine a Cameroon where political disagreement is normal, not criminal, all right? where people debate, not threaten, where opinion is protected, not policed, where supporting any candidate, be it Tchiroma, Biya, Kamtoli Bill, is accepted as your institutional right. Man, imagine that Cameroon. That is what democracy looks like. And Cameroon deserves that. We Cameroonians, we deserve that, right? A confident political system does not fear the people, it listens to the people. That is what Cameroonians are fighting for. So, all these three issues that we've just talked about, the age debate around Barrister Nkom, the national ghost town, and the intimidation of Tchiroma supporters, right? These are not separate stories. They are not. They are a reflection of a country caught between the past and the future. So, a country that is tired, right? It's tired, but it is afraid to speak. You know, you're tired of something, but you cannot air your mind. That is where Cameroon is today, a country demanding change, but unsure how to achieve it. But one thing is clear: Cameroon is awake, and that's the hope that keeps me going every day whenever I start thinking politically, right? And once a population wakes up, you cannot put it back to sleep. And it is this awake, it is the fact that Cameroonians are awake that gives most of us hope. So tell me what you think, right? Should age matter when appointing political leaders? And also, are ghost towns still effective? Do you think that these ghost towns are effective? Or do we need new forms of protest? On the other side, why should a citizen fear expressing political support? Share your thoughts respectfully, of course, in the comment section. Like, share, subscribe, because conversations like this shape the future of Cameroon. And we continue to talk, to express ourselves, express our minds respectfully, hoping that slowly but surely we can create an impact and someday get the Cameroon that Cameroonians dream of. These are the main three things that have caught my attention this past couple of weeks, and I decided to come share with you like I normally do, just do my own small analysis or report on it and get your opinion. So let me know, of the three things that we've talked about, what do you think? What's your opinion about any of them? And why not all of them? Thanks again for subscribing to my channel. I appreciate you all for the support, and I know that my little bird's voice, as I always call it, might just create an impact someday or change somebody's mind in the way they are thinking about Cameroon, and even encourage somebody to become more involved in the affairs of our country, Cameroon. Long live Cameroon, long live Africa in miniature, long live the continent. Thank you. And that's all I have to say about that. Bye bye.